Hello guys, welcome back. It's Adam the Science Tutor. Today we're going to be going over the liver. Liver is an extremely important organ in our body, and it's going to rest kind of on the more on the right side. Two important little facts. It's the largest organ or gland in the human body. It accounts for almost like 1/40th of our body weight, which is pretty crazy considering it's just an organ, but it has a lot of function. It does a lot of things for us. We cannot live without our liver. And there are procedures to remove parts of the liver, but it's an extremely important organ. It has both exocrine and endocrine functions as well. So we're going to start by labeling the different ligaments of the liver, areas of the liver, lobes. So there's 4 lobes of the liver, but not to confuse you, but this is going to be kind of more the anterior side. So if you're looking at my liver right now, the right side of the liver, which is the larger lobe, and then the left side of the liver. So there's the anterior view, and there's going to be the posterior view. So get things going. Well, we've already said this is the right lobe. This is going to be the left lobe. The left lobe is visibly smaller. So this one would be the left lobe. This would be the right lobe. Okay, cool. So we got those going. Different areas and marks of the liver. You have the bare area. So the bare area just sits on top of the right lobe, and it's just kind of area where the peritoneum does not cover it. So that's the bare area. And then a ligament will actually be right here. This is behind, but a ligament will be in the middle, which divides the right lobe from the left lobe. And this ligament will be called the falciform ligament. So falciform ligament. And it's pretty much the divide between the right and left lobes of the liver. And it's the falciform ligament. It'll also attach diaphragm. So the falciform ligament, which is this big guy right in here. So I'm going to kind of, you see the falciform ligament. Then on top of the falciform ligament, in between the triangular ligaments, which I'll get to in a bit, is you'll have a coronary ligament. Coronary ligament. Coronary ligament, I'm going to draw that in green. And the coronary ligament sits right on top. Coronary ligament. And then we'll also have these guys over here. They're shaped exactly like triangles, and so they're called the triangle ligaments. So that makes it pretty easy. So you have the triangle ligaments. So triangle ligaments. So that's cool. That's the anterior surface. So, and you could kind of see this ligament down here. I'm going to cover it on the posterior side, but you can see it in the anterior side. So we have our left lobe, our right lobe, our bare area, which is on top of our right lobe. Both are triangle ligaments, coronary ligaments on top of the divider, which is the falciform ligament. Cool. Now the posterior side, and then you'll see a glimpse of it right here as well. Posterior side, we're going to start off with the 2 extra lobes. So we still have the right lobe, the left lobe. We're going to have our caudate. So this guy in here is going to be our caudate. And that's another lobe of the liver. And then on the bottom is our quadrate lobe. Quadrate lobe. So this is not the quadrate lobe, but I'm going to draw an extra little portion here. So you have a caudate lobe and quadrate lobe. You're going to have a ligament in here. And this ligament is going to be called the round ligament. So pretty simple. It's going to be called round ligament. The round ligament. And it comes from embryonically. It'll come from our obliterated umbilical vein. So the remnants of the obliterated umbilical vein will become our round ligament, which you can see it's kind of right here too. So you'll see the round ligament anteriorly as well. So the round ligament, it is what the remnants of the obliterated umbilical vein. cool. The caudate lobe will have another ligament as well. That ligament is going to be called, let's sit right here. This one is a little harder to see, but it's going to be called the ligamentum venosum. So ligamentum venosum, and it's a remnant of our obliterated ductus venosum. So our obliterated ductus venosus. Sorry if I said venosum. So our obliterated ductus venosus is the remnants, or ligamentum venosum, which we have now as an adult. Its remnants embryonically is the obliterated ductus venosus. So the obliterated ductus venosus becomes the ligamentum venosum, and our obliterated umbilical vein becomes the round ligament. And that's postnatal, so after we were born. So caudate, quadrate are our extra 2 lobes. So we have 4 lobes in the liver. We have our left lobe, our right lobe, which is significantly bigger, and then our caudate lobe, which is superior to our quadrate lobe. Think of C comes before Q in the alphabet, so you think caudate is above the quadrate. No other special ligaments outside the ligamentum venosum and the round ligament. We have this area right here, which is extremely important. So our area in there, which I'm going to just draw in black. This is going to be called our portal triad. So we have a portal triad. And why is this important? Well, our portal triad is where there's going to be 3 things coming in and out of there. We're going to have the common bile duct, which is both our hepatic ducts and our cystic duct, which come together and they all form the common bile duct. And then we're going to also have the proper hepatic artery. So our common hepatic artery, which as you guys, if you have seen the last video, it supplies both the left and right hepatic arteries, and it kind of is also branches off into the cystic artery as well. So proper hepatic artery, common bile duct. We have one more, and this is the hepatic portal vein. So we have the hepatic portal vein, proper hepatic artery, and common bile duct that are all going into the portal triad. So think of us having 3 different guys going into the portal triad. Cool. So we have that, and then somewhat inferior to the right lobe of the liver, we're gonna have our gallbladder. So I'll just draw our gallbladder right here. And it's more posterior and it sits behind, more posterior, inferior of the right lobe of the liver. So cool, we have all these, we have our areas of the liver covered. Now we're just going to talk about kind of the function and what the liver does, what it secretes, what it stores. So let's talk about what does the liver store. So what it stores, I think of the mnemonic baked glycogen. So baked glycogen. And that's because it stores vitamin B12, vitamin A, vitamin K, vitamin E, and vitamin D, and glycogen. So it stores glycogen, vitamin B12, vitamin A, vitamin K, vitamin E, and vitamin D. That's what the liver is able to store. What does it remove from our body? So it's going to remove glucose and bacteria. So we're going to get to the function in a bit. I'm hoping these little steps will help you figure out the function. But it removes bacteria and glucose. So glucose and bacteria. Okay, cool. So it removes glucose and bacteria. Now let's think about what does it synthesize. So synthesis. So what does it synthesize? So Triad. All right. So it synthesizes. It's going to synthesize blood, both monocytes and lymphocytes. It's going to synthesize bile, and bile is very important in the stomach. So that's going to be extremely important, but it's not going to stay there. It does not store bile. So I'm going to talk to you about where the bile goes. Well, it actually will go to the gallbladder, and the gallbladder will remove the water, thus concentrating the bile, and then getting the bile ready to go into the stomach. So you have and the duodenum. So you have the blood, the bile. It also makes anticoagulants. Bilirubin. So that's what it synthesizes. So it synthesizes all of these guys. It stores baked glycogen, it removes glucose and bacteria, and it synthesizes blood, bile, anticoagulants, and bilirubin. Okay, so what do you think the function of the liver is? I mean, it has a lot of functions. So the function, as you can see here, so it removes glucose and bacteria. So what does that do? It's going to be a main filter. So it's going to filter our blood. It's going to filter the blood, create blood. What else is it going to do? So it removes the glucose, it removes bacteria. It's going to be also, so they say like if you drink too much liquor, you're going to harm your livers and you're going to harm your kidneys. Well, the liver takes the brunt force of a lot of that damage. So it detoxifies. So it's a detoxifier. So it detoxifies. So that's another important function of the liver. So what else does it do to our blood? Well, it controls our blood volume and our blood temperature. So controls blood volume and temperature. So it has extremely important functions to our body, and it's an extremely important organ. It has a very similar role. It has a very similar role in the body as a spleen. So you can get your spleen removed, and for the most part, your liver will be able to handle the difference. You can even have part of your liver removed, and your liver can still work up and do well enough to allow you to live a healthy and pretty much normal lifestyle. But we want to keep our liver healthy, so you don't want to overwork it. So what you eat and what you drink is very, very detrimental to your liver. So yeah, that is about it. But thank you guys for watching. This is the liver. Go ahead and take a screenshot if you want. Once again, I encourage you guys to draw these things out and list them on your own. That is a way you can know that you know it. But thank you guys for watching.